doing the dance, the Carl dance, doing the dance, the Carl dance.
Hi, I'm Culture of Truth. This week, Meet the Press offered an interesting example of what the Beltway considers journalistic balance. After having representatives, Democrat Chris Van Hollen and Republican Paul Ryan, debate each other on birth control, gay marriage, job creation, and the debt for the first half of his show, Gregory turned to his expert panel for discussion of the week's political events. His panel consisted of journalists Helene Cooper, Andrea Mitchell, and Al Hunt, and Republican strategist and former chair of the Republican National Committee, Ed Gillespie. Gillespie was not there to discuss the issues in good faith. He was there to recite his talking points, saying the president was arrogant, engaging in a, quote, incredible, unprecedented trampling of religious freedom, that, quote, 5 million Americans have left the labor force. That's why the unemployment rate is coming down, that the president is making the U.S. more like Greece, that he has caused high unemployment and a $4.6 trillion debt, that Obama has failed to cut the deficit in half, as if Republican presidents for a half-century have not routinely increased the deficit. It's interesting to contrast Gillespie's strained and obvious but understandable attempts at spin with the journalist's strained attempts at balance. The Beltway media are terrified of being accused of liberal bias, of course. So, in addition to bringing on the former RNC chair unchallenged, we have Andrea Mitchell saying that when Rick Santorum sticks to the economy, he, quote, is a really strong candidate for those Rust Belt states and for the Republican Party in a general election. Helene Cooper conceding, quote, things are looking a little, not too bad for President Obama on the economy, but I think we still may have problems going ahead. While Al Hunt said, quote, politically, I think Barack Obama was born on third base in this season, and he thinks he hit a triple. I mean, they have benefited because the jobless and unemployment numbers have been good. A lot of Democrats worry that it could head back up again, but they really benefited because the Republicans have wreaked havoc on the brand name. They could recover from that, but that's why Obama's doing so well, not because of anything he's done, unquote. These thoughts, like some of the critical things the panelists said about Mitt Romney and Rick Santorum, are not really meant to provide insight or analysis. They are verbal semaphores proclaiming lack of bias, but reveal a Beltway political worldview which yearns for a handsome, well-spoken, non-hippie, business-friendly wise man to rid America of messy things like debates over social issues and mudslinging primaries. David Gregory wants another Republican to get into the race, prompting Al Hunt to say that Jeb Bush is a, quote, perfect fit, but unfortunately doesn't want to run. Chris Christie, quote, God, he's compelling, but it takes a while to get used to New Jersey, unquote. Mitch Daniels's problem is that, sadly, social conservatives don't like him, and Paul Ryan, quote, he's just a fabulous talent, unquote, but you'd be rushing him out there too soon. Hunt said this magical figure doesn't exist, and there is no natural savior. Republican talking points and objective pundits dreamily speculating about non-existent candidates, lamenting the lack of a magic figure or savior to rescue the Republican Party from the havoc wreaked on its brand name, is what our talk shows present as incisive, enlightening discourse, and that's the most ridiculous thing that happened this Sunday.
Kick it! Doing the dance, the Carl dance, doing the dance, the Carl dance.